Hello there friends, welcome back to Messier Gaming. I'm Joe, I'm the one who runs the channel. I thought that, what I was doing a little while ago, which was like here's what's coming up every month in gaming. There's a lot to digest, and I might go back to those, but what I'm going to start doing is do like a week thing. So that's what this video is going to be, this week in gaming, the stuff that's coming up. And since May was almost over, I just kind of added a couple extra days on there. So it's going to be like a week and 2 days to end out May. So I'll be talking about all the stuff that you need to know for new releases coming up, or maybe some new indie games that are under the radar but might still be pretty interesting to check out. So hopefully I can curate some of that for you. That's kind of the goal of this, is so you don't have to sift through all the crap on Steam or elsewhere to see what's worth it and what you're interested in. It's gonna be a wide variety of stuff here. The only stuff I'm not gonna talk about is FIFA games or NFL games or anything like that, or like remasters, because those things are just, and even on the odd remaster I will, because sometimes remasters do add stuff that's important. Most of the time they don't. That's why I won't talk about them, but it just depends. We'll see how it goes. So the first interesting game we should talk about is probably going to be Soda Crisis. It's a really, really interesting game. Indie game coming out of a studio from Shanghai, Bilibili. It's kind of an odd thing because they're like a video streaming platform, but they also like publish this game. Team Soda is the people on it. They look like they're literally just built to make this game, and that's it. And the game is actually pretty impressive. I played the demo they have out, and I had a really good time. The mechanics seem super solid. There's like some of the translation stuff that's not as good as other bits, but like overall, really, really quality experience that I had. I would definitely recommend checking it out. Probably wait for a review or two to see how it goes. There's definitely, in the demo, they do an awesome thing where they give you like a bunch of abilities right at the gate to like get you in the middle of the game, not like the beginning, and they bring you back to the beginning of the progression to see how it's going to be and how challenging it is really and all that stuff. So it's actually really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I think this is one definitely to check out. It's coming out May 24th. So that's going to be on Tuesday. So make sure to keep that in mind. It's on Steam. I don't know what other platforms it's on 100%. I wasn't able to locate that, but it is at least on Steam. So go ahead and check that out. Definitely worth a look. Coming up next, also on May 24th actually, is Sonority. This is a puzzle-solving song-based game. It's an indie game again, but this one actually looks like it has some pretty good potential. The people who did play the demo had really good experiences. Unfortunately, I just didn't have time, but it does definitely seem pretty dang interesting on its face. So that's going to be releasing on May 24th. Make sure to check that out as well on Tuesday on Steam, as far as I can see. Staying on Tuesday, we're looking at Floppy Knights. This, weird as the name is, it actually looks pretty freaking cool. I'm not into deck building games too much, but this one intrigues me. It's sort of like a deck builder mixed with sort of a Fire Emblem aesthetic, where you do like the tile-based combat with the triage and all that. So that's looking pretty cool. I didn't see a demo for this, so I wasn't able to try it out, but it does look good. I think I'm gonna check it out for sure. I'm still gonna wait on a review and see how it is, see what the balancing is, stuff like that, how long it is, because I don't really want to, we'll see. So check out reviews. If it looks good, this is definitely another one to look at for Tuesday. Moving into Wednesday, we're going to talk about Uninvited, made by Octavio Navarro. This is an indie developer again. Has some minor experience with the horror genre, has had pretty decent success in doing that. Pretty relatively well received at least. And this art style is pretty interesting in the way it's a 2D with a 3D environment kind of thing going on with the fireflies in the jar. I think if you're into horror, you're looking for something a little bit unique, not just the regular jump scare stuff, this might scratch that itch. Wait for a review or two, probably. If you can, look for a curator, at least one that's not just memeing all over the place. But yeah, I'd recommend checking that out. Next on the docket, May 26th on Thursday, we're looking at Golfie. It's developed by Tryhard Studio, I believe it is. Published by the Yogscast. That Yogscast. It looks like a crazy golf game. It's like a deck builder, roguelite golf game. So, Tryhard has done other indie games in the past that have just like, they're wacky, they're not normal, they're bananas, but they all are pretty good. I would definitely, if you're into this kind of wacky golf idea, definitely check it out. I haven't been able to see anything as far as like if they're going to do multiplayer with this, but I could see that being a crazy big hit if that was possible. But even if not, this looks pretty cool. So I would definitely check it out if you're interested in that kind of genre. Again, on Thursday, looking at My Time at Sandrock. The same, I can't remember the developer off the top of my head, but it's the same ones that did My Time at Porsche, that sort of Harvest Moon clone. I wouldn't call it a clone because it innovated enough not to be a clone, I would say. This one looks like it's going to innovate even more, so if that's your kind of game where you like that kind of like community building, somewhat social stuff in a single player experience, but you also want this like simulation aspect that's not too serious, this is exactly what you're looking for. It looks like it's going to be pretty cool. They're adding a lot more combat options than they did before, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, if you're interested in that, definitely take a look. My Time at Sandrock, May 26th. May 26th again, Out There, Oceans of Time. This is developed by Miklos and Goblin Studio. Goblin Studio is pretty well known in the indie scene, makes good stuff basically every single time. This game's going to be a space travel exploration game and also like a time travel game all in one. It adds in also like these ARPG or isometric RPG elements when it comes to like, exploring the planets and stuff. Seem to have pretty cool unique races, good progression systems and stuff. It seems pretty interesting. The Miklos Studio, it seems like they were built specifically for this, so I would just like maybe just like a slight amount of caution, like at a review or two, you know, see what if it's buggy, if it's stuff like that. But the concept I'm super interested in. I think this is gonna be a really interesting thing to try, so check that out. Gonna be May 26th. And we come to the big AAA release for Thursday coming up, Sniper Elite 5. This one's going to be set in France. That's really what changes between these Sniper Elite games. I mean, obviously gameplay should improve every time, and that's what we want as well. But the settings also really makes it and changes things to go on. And if you're into those sniper games, I mean, you're going to be into this. It's that style of game, you know, like it fits a particular niche. It's not like the most popular thing in the world, but the people who love it do love it. So if you're into this, you know, I'm always careful with AAA developers these days. So like, I wait a couple days, even if you're super eager. Make sure it ain't too buggy. But these have had a really good track record, so I would feel pretty confident in getting that very quickly, maybe not immediately. But yeah, May 26th, check that out. It's going to be really, really good. And again, that's going to be coming out for last gen, current gen, and PC. Everything but the Switch. So if you have those platforms, go for it. On Friday, on May 27th, we got a roguelike coming up indie game, Unexplored 2, The Wayfarer's Legacy. This is a sequel to a previous game, Unexplored. Seems like it's got really interesting, like, tabletop-y feel. Look, it's some pretty interesting concepts. They got, like, a hub area that looks pretty interesting to me. The combat looks good. If you're into roguelikes and you want a good one, this is probably going to be it. Just probably a review waiting scenario. Wait for some people trusted, maybe some Steam curators, as long as they're not memeing too much, tell you what's going on with it, and some trusted reviews. So I'd give it like a week maybe, if you want to like really be careful with your purchase. But if you're just into roguelikes, like this is probably the next one for you. Up next, maybe an AA game. If you're into like 3D platformers, this is the next one for you. Get that nostalgic feeling. Kao The Kangaroo. It's going to be coming out for PC, last gen and current gen consoles, including the Switch. So that'll be cool. If you're into that kind of thing, you're going to want to grab this one. It's got all that nostalgia factor. Hopefully it's not too cringy, because a lot of these ones end up being that way. So if you get the nostalgia for it, you're going to want to do it. If you don't, maybe you're going to want to pass on this likely. I'd also just, again, there's not enough gameplay shown other than in a trailer I've seen, like the one that's playing right now. So I would just be super careful too about like checking for bugs and stuff and reviews, stuff like that. Make sure performance is good. It better be good, because it's not anything really graphically impressive. So it better be good performance. So I would just make sure those bugs are good before you seal the deal on that one. So we're gonna jump ahead some days into Tuesday, because there's not a whole lot going on in between those times. But Tuesday the 31st of May, we're looking at The Last Taxi. It's going to be a VR game on all the VR platforms, including Steam. It's pretty interesting, because there's not a lot of story-based VR games that look like they have promise at this point. So for myself, as long as performance looks good, I might pick this up and do it. Now, of course, with VR games, you got to be careful. Don't expect 10 hours, 20 hours of content. You're probably going to get 4 to 8 tippy tops, right? Because a lot of the production, a lot of the money's got to go into setting up VR. So as long as that stuff works well, that's justified. If it ain't, it ain't. If you're interested in VR and VR stories, this is something to check out. There's no price as of yet, so just, keep that in mind as well. And that's going to pretty much take us through the end of May here as far as the stuff I think is going to be pretty important to look at. The stuff I think is going to have the best shot at being the big games that you want to keep an eye on. Again, all depends on your genre you're interested in, but I didn't include a lot of stuff that's like a crap games on Steam that are like obviously like someone's school project they just wanted to maybe make a buck on or something. Skipped a lot of those. So if that's what you're into, you just check Steam out and do it. But if you want those curated lists, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Stick around for more. Hit the notification bell so you get more of that content. I'm planning on doing a lot more of these. Like I said, we're moving into the weekly thing, so if I can do this every week, that would be awesome. I would love to do that. I'm having a really good time getting back into the flow of things. So, catch you later.